Wanted to take a minute to chat about the Tikka Mino. That's this guy right here. A lot of anglers are using this to catch walleyes, to catch pike, to catch a number of different fish. And this bait right here is very versatile. I love this bait where I fish here in the Twin Cities. I guide the metro area. I chase a lot of bluegills, a lot of crappies, a lot of things like that, even catfish out west. But this is just a very versatile presentation. If you want to just try to catch something, meaning a pike, a bass, a larger game fish. So I'll fish that 3/16 ounce Tikka Minnow. That's kind of my start. I may go down to an 1/8, I may go up to a 5/16, I may change from there. But that 3/16 seems to be the most versatile presentation for just going after hammer handle pike, maybe a walleye, maybe a bass, all that kind of stuff here in the Twin Cities. We're fishing a small lake here, a lot of stunted fish, just trying to get something else to bite, and I'll drop this Tikka Minnow down. And I do that a lot. I do that on Lake Minnetonka, I do that on the Chisago chain, I do that out west, I do that wherever I go. I just have a Tikka Minnow rod rigged up where I can rip this 3/16 ounce Tikka Minnow. I got a gold red one here. The fighter tiger catches fish. Variety of different colors catch fish. This is the one I've been doing well on lately. And my setup's just a 32-inch medium action scepter rod. I got a Kejik reel and I got 6-pound test monofilament. And you might see here I'm tying direct. And why am I tying direct in this situation? Because I'm fishing about 8 to 15 feet of water. I'm not fishing deep water with this. If I start fishing deep, I'm probably gonna put a swivel on maybe 20 inches up, and I might turn to a snap as well. But right now, for this, I consider shallow water application, I'm just tying direct onto this Tikka Minnow. And this type of bait's fished relatively aggressively. A lot of people like to dance and quiver a lot of baits. This one is a sweeping motion. You want that Tikka Minnow to dart to the side and spin back to the spot you want to target. So you're gonna snap it. I'm gonna work it pretty aggressively. I'll hook this up just so no one here gets hurt, myself mainly. And this is how I'm fishing it. So I'm working that bait, I'm popping it up, I'm letting that swim back down, and then I might dance it a little bit. I'm popping it back up, that thing's gonna dart off to the side, swim back around, and I'm dancing it. So that Tikka is an all zinc alloy bodied bait. There's no plastic on this. That fin's not gonna break. It darts up and it swims and comes back around into position. It's got a red hook, an oversized hook, not oversized for what we think it should be, but most standard baits on the market are gonna have, in my opinion, too small of a treble. So right out of the package, this one's gonna have one size larger than most other swimming type baits like this. So you're gonna work that bait in a sweeping motion. I'm gonna let it come back down. If I get a fish to come, I might dance it, quiver it like this, pull it away from it, pop it up a little bit, not as aggressively. But when I'm just actively trying to get a fish to come into the area, I'm moving that bait pretty hard. I mean, you want to have that rod flex a bit when you pull that up. And again, I'm using a graphite rod. This rod's got a decent bend to it, but I got a lot of control. I don't want too flimsy of a tip when working that Tikka Minnow. So this setup's been really well for me to catch pike, to catch bass, to pull some walleyes through the hole, some bigger crappies, and run on and gunning with that Tikka Minnow. It's a nice setup because if you get a little chillier, windier day, you have a lot of control. I can fish with my gloves on. I'm not trying to finesse or finagle any of these finicky biting fish. I'm working pretty aggressively for pike, for bass, for other larger game fish. Great opportunity here in the Twin Cities to catch a ton of different fish that swim. We tend to really focus on bluegills and crappies, myself included, but I'll tell you what, over some of these exact same spots that you're getting these bluegills and crappies, we've all seen it. That pike hits your tiny little drop kick jig, your tiny jig and plastic, your jig and maggots, whatever it might be, your pinhead minnow, where if you rip around a Tikka Minnow, upsize your gear a bit, anticipating larger game fish, you can have a whole lot of fun. So I would encourage you to have at least a setup like this. I got it right here on my Snow Dog at all times. You can also see my pinhead minnow, Jigging Minnow, my pinhead pro, my drop kick. So I got my panfish arsenal, but I also have that game fish setup if I want to get after and have some fun with the Tikka Minnow. So give that a shot if you haven't already. Add that one to your arsenal. I bet you catch a couple more fish on it.